Hey guys and gamer girls, NARKISSSA back here again with a little something out of the ordinary for my channel. I've got a tablet here that needs to be fixed. What are you going to do when your ex buys you a POS with a limited warranty? Turn on YouTube and get out your big girl tools. So apparently the 2016 Samsung Tab A is known for its quirks, including the battery software freeze-up issue. Right now it won't power on or charge, and I'm in the middle of a digital drawing. So it's either make it work or lose time and money. Let's see if I can make it work. First things first, I need the right tools. Something that will allow me to safely remove the bezel from around the screen. This sturdy metal fingernail file is the closest thing I have laying around to a spudger. It's about the same thickness and just as firm. However, I would suggest never to use anything pointy or sharp if you can avoid it. However, this is very dull, and I believe it will safely remove the bezel from the screen. Once you have carefully pressed and pried your way around to a point of entry, gently lift up with your tool and pull up with your gloved hand until all four sides of the screen are loose from its case, and you can then remove the bottom and set it out of your way. Since we're going inside, I chose to use my plastic-coated tweezers. First up is to reset the battery. We'll start by pulling the protective tape from the connector. Next, we'll gently lift up on the connector's lock, and then very carefully slide one of the tweezer teeth underneath the battery cable and firmly pull. It can actually be in there pretty good, so you have to pull pretty firmly. So just as if you were resetting anything else, you want to count to about 5, and then we'll go back in and reseat that battery cable. Same process. Carefully slide one of your tweezer teeth up under the cable, squeeze firmly, and insert it into its connector. I used my finger just to make sure it was all the way in there and to close the little flap. Looks like it's good to go. A good rule of thumb is to go ahead and replace that protective tape after each tweak. Otherwise, if you're like me, you will reassemble the device without all of the tapes in place. So while we've got it open, we might as well go ahead and be sure that the video cable is seated correctly. This can be another major issue that is so simple to fix and will cost you not a dime if you know what you're doing. So as you can see, there's a thick white line that runs across the top of the video cable where it meets the connector. If that line isn't exactly lined up with the indicator lines on either side of it on the board, then it's not seated properly and you will not get a video display. So we're going to start by lifting the flap on that connector and carefully sliding that video cable loose. Okay, so I'll need to lay it down so I can see to line up the lines, and just using my finger I'll gently slide it into its connector, making sure that everything's perfectly lined up, and then with the plastic coated tweezers I'll shut the connector's flap. Looks like everything is perfectly in line. It certainly didn't look that good when I first opened her up. Just before reassembling it would be a great opportunity to grab all the necessary information from the battery in case you end up needing to order one anyway. Also, if you happen to be OCD and you want to take some isopropyl alcohol and go around the inside edge of the case or what have you, go for it. So before you begin trying to jam the two pieces back together, you just want to take a careful look around all the edges to make sure there's nothing protruding or obstructing any of the places where it would snap together. I've got a button here, it's the volume button, keeps introverting itself. If I can just get it to stay out, then I can get this sucker back together. Obviously, you want to be sure you have the right ends lined up before you begin, such as the charge port end. I like to start at the opposite end of the charge port and then just gently press around the edges and make my way into each corner. And this is the point that I highly suggest that you wear a glove or use some kind of protection on the screen when trying to press the two pieces back together. Moment of truth. If this works, the first thing I'm doing is backing my art up to the cloud. Looks like we have a sign of life. From here, it should begin to charge, and it will read that it's charged completely in under a minute. From there, it should be no problem to power it on. And from there also, there should be no more problem in keeping a charge. If you experience another problem keeping a charge, then it's time to look into a new battery. Thanks so much for watching. Hope it was helpful to you. Don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button, and feel free to leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below. Keep